Chapter 36. The Call of the Vharogs. An icy breeze swept through the upper corridors of Galathor's fortress, carrying with it an ancient hum that rose from the castle's depths. High above, an open terrace overlooked the horizon, a sea of dark mountains, jagged like fangs, barely visible through torn veils of mist. Galathor contemplated the landscape without haste, walking with his scepter in hand as though it were an extension of himself. His steps echoed softly against the black stone as he moved toward the edge of the terrace. There a figure awaited him, wrapped in a cloak as deep as night. "Raver," Galathor said, without raising his voice. "Your reports." The dark elf inclined his head, his face marked by ancient scars that vanished into bluish shadows. "My lord, the companions of the bearer of the mark are heading toward Tharzul. If they enter the city, reaching him will be difficult." Galathor released a short breath, somewhere between frustration and weary patience. "The dwarves' stronghold is not easily breached, not even by us." "By land, no," Ravor replied. "But there is another way. We can send a small group of Vharogs. They will fly over the mountain range, straight to the walls." Galathor turned his head slightly toward him, weighing the idea. "It will not be enough," he said. "Those abominations can wound, but they are not sufficient." "Perhaps not," Raver conceded, "but they will send a message." Galathor smiled then, a thin smile devoid of warmth. "A message? Yes. One that reminds him he has nowhere to run, that sooner or later I will reach him, and that, if he is wise, he will surrender before his allies pay the price." He made a small gesture with his hand. "See to it." Ravor bowed with absolute respect. "As you command, my lord." He withdrew with silent steps, disappearing into the corridors. Galathor advanced to the edge of the terrace. Beyond it, spread across a torchlit plain, an entire army waited in formation. His eyes glowed like embers as he contemplated his gathered power, growing day by day. The hammer fell one last time. The metal, glowing red-hot, yielded beneath Alden's strength as he breathed hard, chest burning, arms taut. The old dwarf smith took the bare blade in his hands and tilted it toward the light spilling in through the workshop's small window. The gleam it returned was clean, keen, almost hypnotic. "By the beard of the first king," the dwarf murmured, "it's magnificent." Alden smiled, still catching his breath. "I wasn't sure I could do it," he admitted. "But you did," the dwarf replied, never taking his eyes off the blade. "And now it will need a name, and a hilt worthy of it." Alden hesitated for a moment. Then something within him, perhaps a memory, perhaps an instinct, flashed like a spark. "Lufer," he said. "In the ancient tongue, wolf's fang." The dwarf raised an eyebrow, pleased. "It suits her perfectly. I'll see to the hilt. And you will have your armor. You kept your part of the bargain. I will keep mine." Alden nodded, silently grateful. As he left the smithy, he saw Doran and Sarah waiting for him. Both straightened the moment they spotted him. "So?" Doran asked. Alden couldn't hold back his smile. "It went very well." Sarah studied him with a mix of surprise and relief. "You look different," she said. "More certain." Alden was about to reply when a third dwarf, round-bellied, wrapped in thick coats, came hurrying through the crowd. "Ah, at last I find you," he panted. "Blessed be the hammer of the first king." Doran narrowed his eyes. "Born, if you have something to say it." The merchant raised his hands. All right. I've been informed that the audience with the king now has a date." The three of them looked at him tense. "When?" Sarah asked. Born swallowed. "Tomorrow, at first light." The northern caverns plunged into the mountain like open wounds. The air was thick, heavy with dampness and the scent of ancient blood. Ravor advanced without fear, his silhouette little more than a shadow among shadows. From the depths, a pair of yellow eyes watched him. Then another pair. And another. A gigantic figure emerged from the darkness. Skin black and taut, bat-like wings folded at its sides, curved claws scraping against the rock. Its elongated head resembled that of a colossal bat. A Vharog. Raver spoke in a harsh tongue, laden with consonants and metallic echoes. The creature inclined its massive torso slightly, as if acknowledging authority. The dark elf continued, his words falling like ancient commands. Then the Vharog turned its head toward the depths of the cave and released a piercing shriek that cut through the air like a blade. The sound seemed capable of freezing blood in the veins. Yet Eivor did not blink. From the darkness came the sound of movement, not footsteps, wings, wet, rapid beats drawing closer. Dozens of shapes tore themselves free from the blackness, bursting forth with a thunder of wings that sent dust and fragments of stone into the air. One after another, they surged out of the cavern mouth, hurling themselves into the night sky. At last, the Vharog that had stood before Eivor spread its wings with a dry snap and joined the rest. Eivor watched as they vanished into the distance, swallowed by the night, and he smiled faintly. The message would be delivered.